The Shape of the World, a portrait of Frank Lloyd Wright, written by K.L. Going, illustrated by Lauren Stringer. The Shape of the World. One night, a mama rocked a baby in an old wooden chair. "Someday," she whispered, "you will build beautiful buildings." The baby smiled and cooed. He did not know about beautiful buildings. He hadn't seen soaring skyscrapers or elegant museums, but someday he would learn. When the baby grew into a boy, his mother gave him gifts: cubes, spheres, cones, pyramids, cylinders. The boy loved the smooth shapes. They felt soft against his fingers and heavy in his palm. It was fun to build them up and knock them down. He loved to stack them this way and that way and this. They could grow tall or wide, flat or round. Aha! The boy had learned a secret. Every shape was many shapes. When he was older, the boy spent each summer on his uncle's farm. He worked hard from sunrise to sunset, but sometimes, when no one was looking, the boy marveled at the great big world around him. He saw shapes everywhere he looked. He found an arch in the pathway of a frog, a cone inside the petals of a flower, a triangle inside a spider's web, pyramid peaks of anthills, and perfect hexagons in an empty piece of honeycomb. He saw the shiny sphere of the sun and the glowing circle of the moon. Sometimes the boy hid in the tall grass, watching the weeds bend and sway, studying the shape of a bird's flight. He asked himself many questions. Did the sky have a shape? How many shapes were hidden in a tree? Raindrops made changing shapes, clear and cold. Lightning made jagged shapes, sharp and burnt. The river made smooth shapes, long and curved. The boy loved the shape of the world. He wanted to build buildings as amazing as the world around him. When the boy grew into a man, he became an architect. He worked hard from sunrise to sunset, but he never forgot the smooth weight of the blocks his mother had given him when he was a boy. He remembered the hills and the prairies surrounding his family's farm. When other architects chose walls, he chose windows. When others set their buildings apart, his were one with the world around them. He built a house like a honeycomb, a museum like a shell, and towers as tall and thick as trees. People from far and wide came to see his work. When they looked at his buildings, they imagined the rolling landscapes of hills and felt the wide expanse of the sky around them. Like the boy, they too learned to love the shape of the world. One night, when the architect was an old man, he rocked back and forth in his mother's wooden chair. Her promise had come true. When he was a baby, he had not known about beautiful buildings. He hadn't seen soaring skyscrapers or elegant museums, but he had learned. Someday had come and gone. And he had changed the shape of the world. The Shape of the World is based on the life and work of Frank Lloyd Wright, who was born on June 8, 1867, and died on April 9, 1959. Wright has been called America's greatest architect. He built beautiful buildings in a style that was both elegant and unique. Frank credited his mother for introducing him to his calling while he was still a baby. She put up pictures of cathedrals in his nursery, and when he was old enough, she gave him a set of Froebel gifts, simple geometric blocks that he had used to build buildings and towers. He said that the blocks taught him every shape was many shapes, and that even when he grew up, he could still feel the blocks in his fingers. Frank was also greatly influenced by nature. As a child, he spent summers working on his family's farm and studying the prairies of Wisconsin. This love of nature shows in every building he designed. He once said, quote, "No house should ever be on a hill or on anything. It should be of the hill, belonging to it. Hill and house should live together, each the happier for the other." End quote.